Okay, so I have died. That's a first time in the game for me. The game just introduced a new enemy, the Shield Grunt. So, super cool there. I'm wondering why... Okay, there we go. That was interesting. I was wondering why I couldn't do anything. It seems like there's... After you press X to restart from checkpoint, it just kind of loads immediately and doesn't show a load bar or anything. So the game hadn't frozen, but it definitely looked like it at that point. Let me try and re-heal some. Go back into fighting this Shield Grunt here in Stories, The Path of Destinies. Got to take them, throw it into him. Okay. Alright, take that. I love the animation for enemies being cut in half.
As they reached her ship, Renato suddenly felt a sharp pain in his stomach. He was surprised to see a crossbow bolt sticking out of it.
Whoa.
I was gonna lead the Empire to our secret base, said
What?
Lapino. But no, you had to screw up my plan because you still got a thing for her.
Wow.
Renato
I
stared
didn't
at
expect that.
Zenobia. The kiss. Was it real? She said, with a look of indescribable sorrow. She gestured and said an arcane word, and Lapino went flying into the abyss, screaming, "I'm telling your father!" Then she knelt down to cradle his head, and her paws felt very soft and warm. Okay, that was weird. He could have sworn he just died. Instead, he was on the Farfarer, sailing away from Ubar. And it was still burning. He'd fled burning Ubar years ago, hadn't he? And now he was back there. Had all those years fighting the Empire been nothing but a vision into the future? A useful vision if it was true. He'd learned something. Lapino was a traitor. Renato had suspected there was something wrong with the Mad Rabbit. But now he knew there was malice behind his goofiness.
Okay, so this must be an example of what they were saying, how you have a playthrough, and I'm guessing that was technically a playthrough. I completed story number 5. This one I tried to group up with my little rabbit buddy there who just betrayed me, thinking that he was my friend, and tried to focus on that. And in the end, he stabbed me in the back, but didn't stab me in the back. He shot me within a crossbow bolt in the stomach. Way to go, guy. And so, like they're saying, it says my character will remember that. So, Lapino's a traitor. Tier 2 skills unlocked. Very cool. So this is the whole gameplay crux of the game that I finally got into just now. And yeah, that was roughly 60 minutes to hour 15 for that playthrough. So if you multiply, you know, that, they said average is 40 to 60 minutes per playthrough. So multiply that by 30 plus endings to get a full scope of the game. You know, this may not be for everyone, but for me at least, this is it's really neat. It's neat to see a game kind of switch up the formula. I was worried initially when I saw 40 to 60 minutes, but I get what they're going for now. It makes sense now that I've played through, and I guess my only option is to continue and kind of look around here. And it looks like once I have all of these lit up, I suppose, then this will unlock. I don't know exactly what that is. It shows a keyhole, which I find very intriguing. So we'll continue.
Bad choices. But now, when the real battle came, he wouldn't make those choices. He wouldn't make the same mistake twice. The book's pages began to flip backwards, towards the beginning. And he realized that his adventure was just beginning.
That's really cool.
Clouds parted over the Isles of Boreas. It was time to choose. The rebellion was in trouble. Ravens were scouting for the secret rebel base. They needed a game changer. Pieces of the Sky Ripper had surfaced. Or so a scholar in the mountains had told him. Surely the weapon that banished the lost gods could defeat the Emperor. Also, a temple had risen out of empty desert. The Emperor had brought the Sky Ripper pieces up out of ancient burial by his obscene rituals. Could this be where the Iblis Stone was hidden? Someone better get it before he does, thought Reynardo. And also, his old friend Lupino needed rescuing. Of course, Reynardo had a pretty strong suspicion that Lupino had betrayed the rebellion.
Okay,
Could
there it
Reynardo
goes.
really leave an old friend to the Ravens?
Yes, that makes sense. He had a suspicion that he was betraying the rebellion, and he was. I mean, you know, I just found evidence of that with him trying to kill me. So yeah, that's, I guess, is the reason that's not highlighted, because that's the one I went with last time. What's interesting about this is last time I just had this choice to save my friend, and then this one to go and get an artifact. This bottom one here, find the temple, is completely new. That was not available as a choice in my last playthrough. So that's really neat. I guess I could go for the Sky Ripper, ancient artifact that's supposed to help me. And what's the temple going to do? A mysterious temple risen out of the desert. The Emperor has sent his ravens to search for the Iblis Stone. Ancient artifact may contain the power to bring down the Empire. So, Iblis Stone or artifact called the Sky Ripper. I'm going to go with the Sky Ripper.
Every child knew about the Sky Ripper. The Transcendent Emperor had buried its pieces. What could have brought them to light? This Emperor, Isengrim III, had once been kind, but he'd gone mad. And now he was conducting secret, obscene rituals to bring back the lost gods. Had he, somehow, summoned the long-lost components of the legendary weapon out of the deep places of the earth? It was more than Reynardo could fathom. But if he could find a legendary weapon, he would use it.
Yeah, so the Emperor is apparently used to work for him. His adopted daughter is the Cat Lady, who you apparently had a love with, and he is a toad. Makes sense.
As he set foot in the island,
I guess.
Reynardo couldn't help feeling a bit curious. Was Lupino still waiting to be rescued? No. He was probably drinking champagne with the ravens. Did ravens drink champagne? Did rabbits? Reynardo felt oddly thirsty, come to think of it. Why had he chosen the Sky Ripper? Reynardo never made plans that required constant vigilance. He was a hero. He didn't think too much. He just went with his gut and hoped it all worked out. The Sky Ripper was a long shot. He'd have to devote himself to it. No side journeys, no rescuing old friends. That was against his nature. Could he stick with it?
Yeah, the one downside I'm seeing to exploring this, the world...
This is why heroes are called dashing, Reynardo thought. See? Dashing? Get
Yeah,
it?
it does make comments on your playstyle as well. If I dash a lot, the narrator says something. And I think he only says this thing once. I haven't heard any repetition in that. If I attack a lot of barrels, he comments on that. Little things like that. Anything I do repetitiously. But as I was saying, one downside to the structure of the world that I'm seeing is it doesn't give you a map, so you can't definitively say where you need to go to progress the story. And so in an area that's kind of, semi-open like this, there's a couple of paths you can go down. This is obviously, now that I've searched around the area to go to progress the story, but if I had just went straight this way, what I'm experiencing so far is that you can't go back and get those, like for instance, those chests that are hidden around. From someone who's a completionist and wants to maximize their quote-unquote profits, yeah, it's, that could be improved. I wish I would know immediately that this was the area to go to progress the story. Because usually there's a gate that pops up or something that prevents you from going back.
Crafting bench. Reynardo wondered what he could make with it.
There hasn't been one yet, here at least, but I have run into it previously, playing through the game. Looks like I'm getting some message from a friend of mine inquiring about the game. I'll get back to him soon. Or I can just tell him to watch the videos when I upload them.
He thought.
So Joss, if you end up watching this video, you can feel surreal in knowing that that was you. Alright, these are little, what are they called, evokers or eye guys that can spot you, and I don't quite know what happens after they spot you. I've had them look at me once and spot me, and I slashed them with my sword the very split second after they attacked, or after they saw me rather. So I don't know what their attack is or what they do.
That was new. Most
I guess I could
use doorknobs.
Let's see, for the sake of finding out. Okay, they damage you. Nice. Yeah, they damage you a lot. I figured they would alert. Oh, okay, that's not my heal sword anymore. It's kind of wasting my my sword ability.
People who had built this castle, did they even know what monstrous weapon lay hidden within their walls? The Sky Ripper could destroy anything it touched, or so the legend said. As the Transcendent Emperor had fought the Lost Gods, thousands and thousands had died. But Renato had been through wars. The only merciful war was a short one. And Renato smash!
Yeah, see, like that. Like I go around smashing all this glass, and then the narrator comments on it saying Renato smash. That's also a new line. Haven't seen that one before. So yeah, I'm not seeing any repetition in narration, which is really nice in a game like this. You want everything to be new and fresh that you see and do. 2 skill points. Oh, here we go. Second tier. Yeah, there we go. That's when I was talking about earlier, the shield hooking. Rip a shield away using your hook shot. Dash through enemies and cause damage. I do like that. I don't know what it is, but I love a nice quick dash in a game, and just making it more effective by letting it damage them as well and go through them is really cool. Attack enemies at any distance. Slow down time further. Impale your enemy on your sword when you grab him to cause damage. That's really neat. I bet that has a cool animation too. I think I'll purchase 1 tier of that.
Extraordinary.
Okay. And it'll cost 5 damage when I dash through them, and then I think I'll purchase the first tier of grab. Grab and impale. You know, now that I'm doing a little more video recording too, here on the PS4, I find it a little lacking in the ability to track your, because you can only record up to 15 minutes at a time. I find it lacking in its ability to see
some way to break the ice.
To see how many minutes you've recorded so far. It'd be nice to be able to properly end a 15-minute playthrough by saying, hey guys, you know, I'll be back. Instead of it just end visually for you guys, so I'm gonna try and keep track of that. Try out that fire sword. I don't think I upgraded the hook shot. Oh, I guess I did. Look at that impale. That's pretty sick. He even bleeds out blue after that.
So much.
Feel bad for him.
Time to turn it into something he could use.
Yeah, and this is a completely new environment for this now second playthrough. So that's also nice as well. I'm not seeing repetition in environments yet. A little bit of frame stutter right there. It stopped. It seems like the frame stutter is actually when I'm coming in a new environment or a new area in an environment that's pretty demanding on the either the lighting system, and of course this is Unreal Engine 4, so it is definitely more demanding. Okay, that's probably...
Ice walls only let you through if they knew you were cool.
Funny. The truth behind the Sky Ripper is shrouded in a thick fog. The most oh god, this really goes on, doesn't it? Okay, so I'm not going to bore you with